Hello ladies and welcome back to Chengi's World. I am so glad to be back. So if you are new to this channel, welcome to Chengi's World. I am Chengi and you are my world, lady. Okie dokie. So if you want to join me on Instagram and Facebook, absolutely find me on my handle, Chengi's World on both handles. Also, make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell just so that I know it's for real and so that you get all the best videos as I upload them. Okie dokie. So if you want to see more about me, you can check me out on my website www.chengisworld.co.uk. and if you want one-to-one coaching with me and you really are 100% serious, really want to get you a man, I am having so much fun with my clients and they're getting amazing results. I'm so excited, and you can read some of those testimonials on my Instagram. But if you do want to work with me, go to getthering.co.uk and always DM me or send me a message on any of my platforms if you want to chat with me. To those of you who come back to my channel, I'm so sorry I didn't upload anything for Storytime Saturday. It's been such a busy week, and I didn't want to just throw a video out there. I always want to make sure that I'm bringing you guys absolute and complete value. So what are we talking about today? Today we're going to be talking about future faking, right? This is supposed to be a new concept on the market that a lot of people are doing, but I believe that the word of God says there is nothing new under the sun. Absolutely nothing new under the sun. This is an ancient old trick that men have been playing on women forever. It's just that it wasn't given a name because people like myself didn't exist, you know, in that day and time, you know, to sort of analyze relationships and observe them and, you know, really sort of observe human behavior and all of these things. So when we do that, we start to notice little patterns, little behaviors, and then we give them a name, but they've always been there. But I really sort of came across that phrase. I didn't come up with it. It's something that's sort of running, that's sort of in the air when it comes to dating and what's going on out here on these single streets. Okay, so like I said, it's been happening for a long time. And future faking, for those of you who are thinking, what are you talking about? So in this video, I'm going to talk about what future faking is. I'm going to talk about the sort of people that do it and the 3 types of people that do it and what you can do in order to try and manage that scenario, because it's for real. And chances are, if you guys, you know, are really on it, you're just going to put a yes ma'am in the comment section, because it's probably happened to you absolutely at some point in your dating sort of phase. But it's obviously something that is more on the rise because you know, everyone is trying to get ahead, and people upgrade themselves, so it's a little bit more sophisticated than it probably would have been in times past. But also, in times past, there were a lot more structures to protect women than they are in this day and age, simply because we have fought for the right to be liberated, right? And with that comes certain things. It comes with our fathers and our brothers and people in our lives that would ordinarily look out for us, sort of taking a step back. And also men, therefore, not feeling a moral responsibility towards women in the way that they used to in days gone by. Okay, so what is future faking, girl? Go on with it. So future faking is basically when you meet a guy and he begins to talk about you guys having a future. He starts to put you in his future. He starts to indicate that he is in this situation with you, this dating phase, this courtship phase, whatever phase it is of the relationship, to eventually settle down, make you his girlfriend, you know, get into a committed, exclusive, monogamous relationship, when in fact it's not really the ultimate plan. And I would like to say the ultimate plan is just to get you into bed, which I would say is probably 90% of the reasons why men do a lot of things that are abhorrent. Women do things that are abhorrent for different reasons, not always for sex, usually for money. Okay, but men usually do things that are abhorrent because they're just trying to get laid. Okay, so I had a guy friend of mine who said to me, Chengi, if I want to get into the knickers of a Christian girl, especially church girls, I just have to mention marriage and the possibility that I'm looking to get married, that they look like a marriage potential. And he said to me, 99.9% of the time it's going to work. I'm going to get laid. Women in church particularly, just, it seems like a trigger in our minds that if a man throws ring and wedding and marriage at us, it's like, I'm gonna, you know, what's the point of making him wait? Let's just get on with it because he's gonna marry me. And as long as that promise is kept up long enough and enough sort of ways, then we're gonna keep giving it out for free. And then 2-3 years later, we realize actually in that kind of party, okay? But on a general scale across the board, men will put you in a scenario where you think that actually we're going to be serious. And I really want us to be careful because I work with my clients and they're like, oh, he said he's looking for a girlfriend. No. I've always said, and you know, if you look at some of my videos, that it's not what a man says, it's what he does. A man who is looking to settle down, who is looking for somebody to be committed and monogamous with, behaves a certain kind of way. His life looks a certain kind of way. One of the things that I look for when a man, when I'm looking to see if a man is relationship ready or commitment ready, is I look at how he has panned out his life. If he is trying to buy a place for himself, if he's got his life together, if he's got a place of his own, he's got, you know, his own, he's putting his life together in a way that looks like I can provide, protect, and cherish somebody else in my life. If he is still out partying all night, if he's still in bars and clubs, and chances are he is kind of, you know, look at his lifestyle, look at how he's living, look at the pictures he's got up on his online profile, look at is he out with the lads and drinking, look at his social media. I mean, a man that's really getting ready to settle down and really be monogamous and find a girlfriend, he gets tired of being out there on the streets. He really just wants to settle in. He's more interested in having hobbies and things that he does, sailing or snowboarding or whatever that he enjoys doing, than being out there pulling women, okay? So you can just tell by the lifestyle and the way that he conducts himself and the conversation around himself and his stability, and he wants you to know that he can provide, protect, and cherish you. Like, he wants a man that's ready to really truly pursue a future, is really getting ready. So these are the signs that you need to look at. You know, is this man in a position where he can provide? Is he in a position where his life is stable? Because if he's not stable, he's still living with the parents, he's just come out of a divorce, you know, he's still kind of getting himself together, it's hardly likely that he's in a position to truly give you a future or be in a position where he wants to have a future with you. So that's part of how you can see. But like I said, I'll tell you about the different types of men that are looking for, who are kind of faking a future with you, and why they do it. There's one guy meets you. I know a girlfriend of mine who, he was so good, and he falls into the category that I'm going to talk about right now. He was so good that he gave her keys to his apartment. Okay, he literally dated her and gave her keys to her apartment, to his apartment, and then he just sort of went pear-shaped really quickly. Okay, and I believe that these are the guys who genuinely are ready to settle down. They're ready to meet somebody and really sort of commit to them. But the little key here is you shouldn't really be getting keys to anybody's apartment within the first 3 months. It's way too soon. And that is an indication that yes, he's ready, and perhaps he is latching onto the first decent thing that comes. And probably he's either really desperate, or he's in a position where, okay, she looks like a decent, because she's a lovely, decent girl, really wifey material. And I think it was just a classic case of, you know what, let me just take this one and just nail this situation and, you know, settle down with this girl. But actually he didn't think it through. It wasn't a rational, but in his mind he was persuaded. So some guys will kind of sell you a future because they genuinely want one, but they realize that not with you. And had they taken their time and not sort of launched into it, and sometimes they launch into it because they don't want to lose an opportunity to be with you, but they actually genuinely fall emotionally for you in that moment, and so they're ready to, they can see a future with you, but a future for themselves as a married man, as a committed boyfriend. But what they haven't worked out is if that future is with you. Do you see what I mean? So the key here is to sort of make sure that you have a healthy timeline about when things should be happening. If a guy's like giving you his keys to his apartment in the first month of dating, then you've got to be like, you know what, I'm not comfortable with that yet. I mean, we really don't know each other. And because remember, if he gives you the keys to his apartment, there's a kind of expectation to be reciprocal. Do you really want somebody you've met a month ago to have access to your home like that? So like I said, if you want to watch some of my videos about why he's moving so fast, anyone who's moving that fast is a kind of red flag, okay? Nobody should really be moving into their lives that fast. But sometimes it is, like I said, because they genuinely are ready, but they're not sure if it's with you, right? The second person is somebody who is just simply, like I said, just wanting to get laid. This person has one motive. That is to get laid and get laid consistently. And if they believe that you are ready to settle down, I remember sort of being in a situation, you know, this is really not a big deal when you're celibate like me. Like, it just, you know, you prevent yourself from a lot of heartache and pain because it's just not on the table. Like, sex is off the table until we're married. So it just, you know, it makes things very quick for me. Very simple. But it was a scenario where it was like, yeah, but, you know, I was with my girlfriend I slept with my girlfriend on the first date, and, you know, we were together for 3 years or whatever. And the whole sort of thing there was, there's a future. You can, if you sleep with me, I promise there's a future. Like, you know, hands up if somebody's giving you that kind of story. Like, if we have sex, there's still a future. Because last time I did that, I mean, on the first date, there was a future for this girl, but there wasn't. 3 years later, 3 years of her life down the low, okay? She didn't end up with the guy she wanted, and I'm sure she left that relationship feeling hurt because 3 years of investment, right? But sometimes guys will say, you know, the last girlfriend I was with, we had sex on the first night and we were together for 5 years, or we nearly got married or whatever. That is also future faking. That is also a way of sort of saying, look, you can sleep with me. And that's how you know that he wants to have sex, because he kind of brings up if we have sex, then there's a chance of a future. Or if he says, you know, there's no way that I could possibly, you know, really be with somebody and not have sex with them kind of scenario. You know, if we're going to have a future, then we kind of need to have sex. It's almost like, I will promise you a future if you give me sex, but actually I can't really promise that. So I had a guy friend of mine who told me, yeah, Chinky, sometimes you just have to, you know, let a girl know that if you're going to be together, then it can't be without sex, right? Because that is also future faking, because he just wants to get something of you. So that's that guy who just is doing it for sex. And then there's a third guy who is purely narcissistic. He is sadistic. He is a sociopath, psycho. Those people with zero conscience who just actually enjoy the pain of other people. I know it's hard for you and I to get. It's hard for us to comprehend. But there are people, men and women out there, who actually derive pleasure from other people's pain. They feel great when you're in pain. So they literally do these things to feed off your pain. So they will come into your life, they will give you the full perfect story. They will be, you know, I really like to get married by the end of the year. I'm tired of being out here on these streets. I'm tired of being in bars and clubs, and I've got a home, I've got a car, I've got everything a man needs, and all I need is a girl to put in there. And, you know, he'll take you to his home and he'll show his car, and, you know, there's nothing I need now except a wife and maybe some children. And, you know, this is, you know, something I'm just really looking for right now. I'm tired of going to bars and clubs, and that's why I'm talking to you. And, you know, would you like to be somebody's wife? Are you looking for something serious, you know? And then, you know, you kind of think jackpot, you know, he has everything. But actually, the moment you bite and you start to like him and start to think, okay, I like him. And the moment he feels that energy change where the chase is over for him and he feels that you really like him, then he's just going to vanish. And he's going to, because we're spirit beings and we communicate spiritually, he will feed off your energy and off your pain. He will delight in it. Those are a few percentage of people who would do it that way, you know, who are really, really awful like that. I would say the bigger majority, like I said, is just guys who are trying to get laid as quickly and as cheaply as possible with no intention. And the first guy who has the intention but just hasn't decided it's you. So you need to be really careful and really watchful And what you need to do is be clear of your timelines. What is an appropriate time for things to kind of get to that point, to a point where we're talking about girlfriend and you are placing that person in there. You know, a man who is genuinely looking for a future is genuinely going to be looking for deeper things. He's genuinely going to be looking at more important things. He's going to be looking at how you conduct yourself. He's going to be analyzing. He's going to be searching. He's not going to be so busy making promises, because he's really genuinely trying to figure you out, and vice versa. And a healthy relationship that is growing well tends to naturally evolve in a healthy pace, in a good place. Not to say that there won't be times when you can say to me, you know what, we need to slow this down a little bit. We all need to be paced, and we all need to be, you know, pacing is important for any relationship, and sometimes it needs to be vocalized, because the other person might move faster than you or slower than you. But the point I'm making is that a guy who, when it's real, then naturally processes happen. You know, you will find within a certain timeline, that person will start to, you know, I remember dating this guy, and, you know, it wasn't all in at once, you know, but I remember him putting me on his car insurance, and he had like a really expensive car, like really expensive, and he knew that I had a bit of a banger, and he was like, look, why don't you just drive mine when I'm around and you need to go on long journeys? I'll put you on my insurance. But that was kind of after quite some time, and I saw from that action that he was already putting me into his future, that he already had a genuine future thing, because it was a very expensive car and he loved his car. And so you will see that a man will naturally start to do things that include you in his future. But when he is promising and saying and giving you little innuendos that, you know, he might stick around if you give him this or the other, that's something to be really very careful for. So really listen out. Yes, we want men that place us in their future when they're speaking, but not at a certain point in time. You know, not when we've just met, not within the first 3 months per se. Even if he says, oh, we could go on holiday together and stuff, that's all very nice. But I'm talking about, you know, I really think that, you know, you would be a great wife for me, and I can see us together, and you know, you know, like, use your antenna, use your gut. Don't, you know, it's something that really resonates with us as women, because we're always looking for that monogamy, and that we want to be somebody's one and only, so we're very vulnerable to those sort of things. So I hope this video helps and that you know what to do. If you're not clear, leave a comment, join me on Instagram, Facebook, message me, PM me, whatever works for you, if you need a bit more clarity or if you want me to do another video. So I hope this was really very helpful. I'll see you soon in my next video. Take care of you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and see me on Instagram and Facebook, where it's happening. It's all going down. If you like my makeup, it's from Lolo Cosmetics. I've got a 10% discount for y'all, and I will put it in the description box so you can buy some makeup. I'm wearing Pixie eyeshadow and I think sterling silver in the corners of my eyes, and Berrylicious. I'm really in love with this Berrylicious and cheeky Lolo, and some bronzers and stuff, and everything that I'm wearing is Lolo. So go check it out. It's organic, it's vegan, it's natural, it's beautiful. So go do that. I'll put that in the description box. Love you so much. Take care of you. Love you guys. Bye bye now.